the paradigms, and these are the beliefs and the experiences we've had that sometimes determine the types of results that we get, and how these fears sometimes can just cripple us and prevent us from putting our best foot forward. And I've also told you about some strategies that you can use to arrest those thoughts when they show up, and really, notice what you're thinking about, taking those thoughts into captivity, and also repatterning the thoughts with more positive ones. All right. And then we did a little bit of a time machine where you visualized a life that you would love. And then we also talked a little bit about, if you really want to use your skills, your experiences, your knowledge to do some entrepreneurial business, then, the two main things, and, you need to know what's the problem you solve and who you solve those problems for. All right. And we created a solution statement. Now I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on the career side of things. Please know that if you're going to do a business, a lot of this is going to apply to you just the same. It will be still valuable. All right. So in the 45 minutes we have left, I'm going to try and breeze through this as best as possible. All right. And we may not be able to go in depth into everything. That's why I've made sure you have this. This is a little ebook that I've created, and I've printed out a copy. But if you would like to have an e-copy of this, I'm happy to send that to you for you to download it and save it on your computer. It's got most of the steps that we're going to go through in there that you can go through on your own, okay? So we will be focusing on the career action plan. Career action plan is a written document that outlines your career goals and the specific actions that you need to take to achieve them. It helps you to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and any threats to create a roadmap to reach your desired career outcomes. All right. So once you have, if you don't have a clear direction for where you're going, you may find yourself feeling stuck or unfulfilled or even overwhelmed. And that's why we started the workshop with the vision, right? And for this 3-week workshop, I started the first week off with the vision. Because if people can really see where they're going, if you have that North Star that is guiding you on your way, it doesn't matter what happens. If you can just find back your North Star and find that vision, if you can always come back, pivot back to your vision, you will be able to find your way. It doesn't matter what shows up. And that's why one of the strategies in overcoming the paradigm is focus on your vision. Make sure you have that in front of you at all time. All right. So that's what your career action plan is really valuable for. You know your vision, then the action plan is really helping you to prepare like a blueprint of how do you get there to that vision. All right. Why do you need one? As I said, without the clear direction, you don't really have a proper roadmap. Okay. So there are the way I teach this, I follow the 7-step process. Other people may do different ways. I have a course that I teach and I include some other steps that are not included here. All right. Or I break some of these down into different steps. So the first step is self-assessment. You set some goals and SMART goals. You can research career options, identify skills and knowledge gaps, develop strategies, and then you create an action plan. And at the end of creating your plan, you implement it and then you monitor and update that as time goes by. So in the first step is self-assessment. What is a self-assessment? Self-assessment is really the first step in developing your action plan. Just like when we did the vision, the first thing we did was to assess our the domains in our life. Similarly, with the career action plan, we do an assessment of our skills, our interests, our values, our personality traits, because that really shows you where your strengths lies. Oftentimes, if you can understand, what you're good at or what you're interested in, what lights you up, that is often really helpful in determining where your skills and your interests are aligned. And there are personality tests that you can do to do that. One of the simple things that we do in these sessions is to do like a skills inventory, all right? So if you open your little handbook there and turn to page 7, right? And in the interest of time, we're not going to go through this, but I just want you to see the page. On page 7, it's a skills inventory. And what the skills inventory is, you can use this to identify your technical, interpersonal, and transferable skills. And then you can indicate the level of strength for each skill. So you can identify any skills that you need improvement in. So for example, if you, the way you do this is you think about all the skills you have. Skills are the abilities that you have to do things, right? You can have some basic skills, and then your skills can also be, you can be expert, right? It doesn't matter what level your skills are at. You can do an inventory. So basically you can list every skill that you have, such as, so quickly, I'll just ask a few people, what is one skill that you have?
I can speak 8 languages.
There's languages. There you go. 8 languages. That's an amazing skill. Give me one skill that you, yeah. So you're analytic, you have analytical skills, right? One from the back there. Anyone? Time management. Fire.
I speak 2 languages.
Great. Wonderful. All right. Abby.
Yeah, good with IT.
IT, right. So you're a real tech person, right? So the way you do this is, you see there are different types of skills. So you have the technical skills like the IT skills, the analytical skills, and so on. Then you have the interpersonal ones, like, people who are so good at smiling and making people feel comfortable, right? The interpersonal skills, the ones that help you communicate, empathy and so on. Then you also have transferable skills. So those are the skills that you can use across any jobs. So time management, finance, budgeting, project management. You use those skills. It doesn't matter which industry you are. You use those skills, right? I put the categories there because I do this workshop for different people from time to time, and so I put the technique, so it doesn't matter where you fall there, you can put, so you can list the skills you have, and then you identify the strength of your skill. So for example, I speak English fluently. So I would say I'm a more like a 9.5 out of 10. Or I would even dare say 10 out of 10 for my English. Because I did IELTS and I actually had a full score. I have a perfect English, right? Because, yeah, but I also speak a very little bit of Spanish. So if I was rating my Spanish, I somebody's locked her, probably Annie locked herself up. It's okay. So I would rate myself maybe at 2.5 for my Spanish skills. All right. So that's what I mean. Because it's an assessment. So now we're just throwing everything we have on the table and we are seeing where they're at, which skills, right? And then you can identify the ones that you think are important to you that need some improvement, right? For example, I'm probably not going to use my Spanish speaking skills right now, but later on, I probably will want to. So I'll rate it that I'd love to improve this to more like a 6 so I can communicate more effectively because I would love to work in Latin America. All right. So that's how you do the skills inventory. Everybody good with that? Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm probably going to speed up a little bit just because we're almost out of, we just got about 40 minutes left. So you do the skills assessment to have an idea of where your skills are at. And this is really important for those of you who are maybe out of job, out of work, or you're looking for a promotion or you're looking for something more. When you do the skills assessment, it can be one of the first areas to identify where your strengths are at in terms of the skills that you're really good at. So if you're really confused about where to go, start, and that's why I put skills assessment first. Because oftentimes you can have an indication, hey, I didn't even realize, I forget that I'm really good at that. So maybe instead of me chasing this thing that's not going anywhere, I could pivot on that particular area where my skill is strong in. All right. So the second step, so now we've got a fair understanding of what the skills are. Then the next step is to look at your goals. Setting a goal is an essential psychological strategy for your professional and your personal life, right? Goal setting is a process of deciding what you want to achieve and laying out a plan on how to reach that goal. It really involves identifying specific objectives and setting performance targets and evaluating your progress in achieving those goals, right? So the goal setting is not just about, yeah, I want a big house. Yeah, it's a process. It's more than just saying what you want. Okay. So smart goals. It's important that we are setting smart goals. And I'm just making sure I have the right presentation, right? So in other words, it's the process that provides you with a long-term vision and a short-term motivation, right? So it consolidates your accumulation of knowledge and helps you manage your time and resources well. And it's the most critical part of your career action planning process, right? Because it's the plan that you create and your actions that are going to drive your results. It's wonderful to have that big aspirational dream where you're going, but the goal is kind of like the steering wheel in the ship that's going to get you there, right? So the North Star is where you're heading for, but that steering wheel, the rudder, is pointing you in the right direction and it's guiding you to where you really want to go, right? The biggest issue that people have with this is that they often don't realize how important it is to set a goal and to write it down, right? They think, oh, once I am more successful, I'll start making goals. No, you need the goals to become successful. The goal is something that you are able to work towards. So for example, we spoke about the 3-year vision, right? But there are some goals that you could achieve on the pathway to getting that 3-year vision. And as you achieve each of those, they are like the mini wins along the way towards getting to that big vision at the end of the day. All right. So for example, let me pick somebody's, can I use yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your goal is to help moms with children who are struggling with weight-related issues and autoimmune disorders. I'm just, yep, okay. It's an aspirational goal. So in 3 years' time, hopefully you'll be able to really line up that needle at 12 o'clock. But what do you do in the next 3 while the 3 years is happening? What happens between now and then? The goals are those like lamp posts, right? Those milestones that you're going to achieve that are telling you that you are getting closer to that vision, right? So it's really important that we are documenting and planning this out, because if you don't, then you will end up, you're going to Canberra and all you know, you're all the way in Newcastle because you took the wrong highway. If you're going to Canberra, you got to set a course to go south, right? And the goal is I've got to pass Liverpool, I've got to pass Wollongong, I've got to pass Goulburn, and I've got to, yeah. If you find yourself in Port Macquarie, you're going in the wrong direction, mate. So your goal is, like, my goal is, if it's 2.5 hours to Canberra, by the 30 minutes, I should be passing Liverpool. I should arrive at Liverpool. By the next 1 hour, I must be somewhere past Wollongong going down that side. All right. So your goals are those important milestones or those achievable targets that you are going to set that are showing you that you are going in the right direction. All right? And that you can celebrate. All right? But it's really important that you have to set those goals.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
McDonald's use that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they filtered it down, they send it, say KPIs.
Yes.
They want us, each store to have your restaurant goals.
Yes.
Five areas. They need to know what are your goals are.
That's right.
So it's implemented in
that's
so
right.
just me and a restaurant manager, so I have 5 systems. Say I got 5 over here.
Mhm.
Give me your action plan.
Yeah.
On your area.
To achieve that goal.
And that's how McDonald's works.
That's right. In most organizations, it's a universal management principle, right? So you can have strategic goals and you can have the more operational ones, right? But you can have them at all different kinds of levels. So even your vision is like a really big goal, but you need some other ones that are helping you to get to that bigger one, all right? Okay. So the goal setting process is really important. Simon Sinek said, when people are financially invested, they want a return. When people are emotionally invested, they want to contribute, right? Setting your goal is a really important contribution that you're making to achieving your vision, all right? So the first step in setting your goal is you must understand you're smart. Make your goals smart. Remember, you've already written down what you would like to achieve in the next 3 years. And how are you likely to get there, right? So your goal is really what you would like to achieve and how you're going to get there. Those sub goals are the ones that are going to help you to get there, all right? Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So as you prepare to develop your goal for your career or your business, it's important that you use, there are some questions that you can reflect on. It's really warm in here. Is it AC on? Yeah. Annie, is it possible to turn the AC on? Yeah. So be honest with yourself and don't be afraid of going big. All right? You've already created a big vision for your life. So big visions require big goals, right? I've always been told this, I've heard it very often. My father always says, if your dream is small enough for you, if it's only small enough for you to achieve it on your own, it's not worth it. So you have to dream big. It has to be bigger than you. All right? So some of the questions you could ask is, what specific issues would you like to focus on? Right? So is it skill development? Is it qualifications? Is it job promotion? Is it achievement? What would you like to focus on? So as you're preparing your goals, what area of your life do you want to be improved? And the goals must align to that. That's what I'm saying, right? If this problem was solved, what would that look like? How would you know you've solved the problem? What would happen? How would you be feeling? What difference will this make in your life and the lives of others that you serve? All right. So these are some of the questions you could ask when you're thinking about what goal to set. So your goal must be SMART, right? And you probably have heard the SMART acronym many times. What the SMART stands for is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So your goals must be specific in that they must be well defined, clear, and unambiguous. When I say unambiguous means you shouldn't be able to interpret it 2 different ways. It must be one, this is what it is, and that's what it is. It can't be 2 things at the same time. So it must be quite clear. It must be measurable, meaning that you should be able to, if you achieve the goal, you should be able to determine, measure it, right? So it's starting from 0 to 100, right? But it can't just be anywhere, all right? Achievable in that it must be realistic, it must be realistic yet achievable, all right? So the goal can't be that in the next 5 minutes, you're going to reach Canberra. Even if you took a rocket, you were not going to reach Canberra in 5 minutes because it will take more than 5 minutes for the rocket to start. All right. So it must be realistic. So whatever you want to achieve, yes, it should stretch you, but it should not be impossible. That's what I'm saying. And then, of course, it must be relevant to the path you intend to take with your life. And it has to be timely because it must have a clear start and end date, right? So some people might say it must be time bound. So there must be a time frame in which this is achievable. So it can't be something that is going to take forever to achieve as well. That's not a smart goal, all right? That's why you should not say, I want to be rich, because that's an impossible thing. But you could say, I want to earn amount of money by this time, right? Because we know we can measure what X amount of money is. What exactly does rich mean? Rich for me might be different from yours. Like my baby always say, Mommy, you are rich. Sometimes I wonder what's going through his little head. And he's like, oh, but Mom, if he asks for something and I say, I'm not going to buy that right now. And if I make the mistake of saying I don't have the money, he will say, but you're rich, right? Rich is relative, okay? So a concrete example of a SMART goal is you want to improve work performance by following a professional development plan to document actions and outcomes for the next 3 months. How is this specific? Well, we're implementing something, which is a professional development plan, right? And then it splits the goals into smaller tasks with a clear deadline of 3 months. It's measurable because we can review and work on the tasks daily and we can see how the implementation is happening, right? So we can measure implementation. Yes, we did task number 1, task number 2, etc. It's also achievable. Setting goals and marking the ones that are completed is actually quite easy to do. If you're implementing something, you can determine if it's achievable, and it can be done in 3 months. Management experts have confirmed that this kind of initiative can actually result in, work performance. If you follow a professional development plan based on experience and research, you should be able to improve your performance if you are following the plan, right? And of course, we've said it will be done in 3 months, all right? So work together to develop some specific goals. We're gonna try, we don't have much time left, but I'll give you maybe 3 minutes for you to write down a SMART goal for yourself. Remember, it has to be specific, so it must be something tangible. You have to be able to measure it in terms of figuring out whether you've achieved it or not. It's something that it's attainable, it can be done. And then it must be realistic and put a time frame to it, okay? So action plan on page 15 of your handbook. See, I even spent time to write on the page numbers. And just for your info, in the handbook, I've got several examples of SMART goals from many different industries, right? So there's some for commerce and accounting professional, entrepreneur or business, health professional, and wellness professional. So I just created those, and there's one for teachers as well. So there are some examples in the handbook of how to write a SMART goal, and I show you how each one follows the SMART. So on page, I think it's page 40 in in the handout. Now I'm realizing. Beg your pardon. It's page 14. Page 14 has the SMART goal. You just find one goal that aligns with your vision or your career goals right now. Let's focus on your career. What is one specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goal that you can set that you could achieve in the next 12 months? How about that? Something you could achieve in the next 12 months or 6 months. One thing, right? There are multiple examples there in the book, so please feel free to have a look at those. But let's do this quickly because we just have about 20 minutes left. I'll give you 3 minutes. You want me to put the example back on the screen? I know that can be helpful sometimes.
Faulty. It's just stopped working.
No, I think it felt better. It's feeling better.
Yeah.
It's feeling better. No.
Because it says fault. It says fault, so I can't really do anything. And it's 25 degrees, which is actually hot. And it's not feeling that hot. No, it's doing that. Like, it's just nuts. So I have to let them know that.
It's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, it's actually for.
Actually, we felt the breeze. And
Yeah, we feel the fan. Yeah.
we felt the breeze.
Yes,
Like something.
it's better than before.
So, okay, that's
It's
good.
better. And it's probably cooler than outside.
Yes.
It's okay. If you're really struggling, some of the questions you could ask is what issue, what area of your career you would like to focus on, what area you would like to improve. And, that's something that you can think about in terms of setting a goal, set a goal around improving that area. I think it's gone the other way. All right, let's stop there for now. All right. Did everyone get a chance to write something down? When you go home, you'll have this so you can spend more time, reading through the notes there. Yeah. Okay. So we've done an assessment to understand where we are at in terms of our skills inventory. Then we've set up a SMART goal. The next step you could do is to then, you know what your goal is. Let's say that your goal is to get a new job or a promotion. So you can research career options that align with your skills and your interests and your values. What do I mean by that? For example, let's say you're feeling stuck in your current role and you would love to maybe even leave the organization where you're at, or you could be in one of those areas where it's not a very easy place to find a job, or you might have been out of work for a little while. Now that you understand where your skills strengths are, you can use that to say, well, I'm good at this. Let's see what jobs are out there that require these skills. And you can use that to search. However, you don't just want to be searching willy-nilly for just about anything. It's important that you also ask yourself, well, what do I want to achieve? And that's where the goal comes in. So your goal is, let's say, you want a promotion or you want to get some new experiences. So based on your personal goal, combined with where your skill set are, you could use that tool, that knowledge to go find a job. So you do some research on, or you can even use that to say, okay, these are the skills I have. This is where I want to go. Based on where I want to go, is there a gap between what I want to do and what I already have? So maybe if you want to become a project manager and you're just an admin staff now, you're good at, scheduling, organizing things, record keeping, and so on. And then you do some research and you realize, oh, my goal of becoming a project manager, I'll need some higher level analytical skills or risk assessment skills. Then you realize, oh, I have some basic skills in this area, but to get there, I'm going to have to develop these skills a little bit more. Okay? So this process is really useful to help you. And you can look at job boards or different websites and gather information about what the job requires and compare that to what you already have so you can see where the gaps are and where you can put in a plan to fill those gaps, whether through training or professional development, etc. The next step in the process is really identify those gaps, all right? So you know the skills you have, you know what you'd love to achieve, you've done a bit of career to find these jobs that you think you would love to do based on your goals. And then you do this gap analysis, which I just mentioned. You look at the gap. Okay, this is the gap that I have. And so you've confirmed your business goals, you determine what is needed for success, and then you assess your current skills. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to help me with this. So you can use various resources such as the job descriptions, industry standards to identify what the gaps are. So you look at, so the gaps are, what's the difference between what you have currently and what you need to achieve your goals? If you want a promotion to become a senior manager and you only have experience as a junior manager, what experience do you need between where you are and where you need to go? And what's the gap in between and how, and you must identify that gap in order for you to be able to bridge it. It's 2 sheets. So this is one, and then you pass the rest on, yeah? Okay, so the skill gap analysis is a tool that helps you determine the area of knowledge and skill in which you excel and where you fall short, right? And it usually looks like this. So you list out the skills and then you can determine these are the skills that are required for this job. Yes, sorry. Yeah. I think we might run short a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So so you create a strategy based on your findings. Okay. So once you identify the gaps in your skills and where you want to go, then you can, I don't think we have enough for everyone. So maybe Francine, you and Yukiko, you can share here. I think I only have 10 copies.
Okay, 2 for 10 too.
Yeah. No, that's enough. So give that one to him.
Yeah.
So the dark one, it's 2 different sheets of paper. Yes. Yes. It's 2 different sheets. Yeah. Okay, you guys have? Yeah. Do you have? Okay. All right. So the next step is to develop strategies, and developing the strategies to acquire the necessary skills that you need. So based on wherever the gaps may be, you might want to develop the strategies now to say, how do I bridge that gap, right? And the bridge could be, you may want to do a course, depending on the distance that you have to go. Maybe you want to you learn some new knowledge or skills, right? Or you may just need some mentorship or support to help you to build your confidence, for example. You may very well have the skills already, but you don't have the confidence to operate at that level, all right? So you might need a mentor. And a mentor is someone who is already where you would love to go, who can help you to find strategies or connect you with opportunities. A coach is different from a mentor. The coach is the person who provides more of a guide for you that helps you to pull out the resources, the answers that you need from inside of yourself. So they provide more like as a guide. They're there to help you to find your way. All right. And then the next thing is you can identify the resources and the support you need to achieve those goals. All right. And then the sixth step is to create the action plan. And now you should have that template. The dark one is a SWOT analysis. So you can use that dark color template. And I can send this to you by email, by the way, that template, to look at your strengths, right? It's another layer of identifying where your strengths are and where there might be some gaps. You can also look at what potential opportunities may exist for you based on where you're at right now. But you can also look at potential threats. What are some things that could undermine the work that you are doing or undermine any actions that you may take? And the aim of that, understanding where those threats could be, is not for you to be afraid. It's being able to, it's basically more like doing a risk assessment. You are identifying what potential threats could be so you know them in advance. So you can put in a mitigation strategy or you put in a plan to prevent those things from stopping you if you can. Or you go around them, right? You go around them, okay? Now, success and failure are not an overnight experience, as you all know. There's very small decisions that we take along the way, they cause people to fail or succeed. And remember one of the things I said about overcoming the fear and the paradigms is taking one step in the direction of your dream. Those little actions that we take, they are cumulative. I can't remember who said it, but the person said that, I think it was Jim Rohn, that says, every little action that you take, every small step in the right direction is accumulated towards achieving your goal. So if you can wake up every day and do one little thing, one small action that aligns with your goals every single day, you just do one thing every day. Eventually, all of those little one things will add up to what you want to achieve. So you keep doing those one things because Rome was not built in a day, right? It's more important that you are taking those one simple steps every day in the right direction than not taking any step at all, right? And so the sixth step in creating your career action plan is actually the plan itself. The action plan consists of a well-defined description of your goal and some tasks. So this is so you understand where your skill set are, you know where the gaps are, you've put in some strategies to build the gap between what you have now and where you want to go. And then you are going to map it out in this thing called an action plan. And that's what the second template is for. This is a very basic one. It's quite simple, but this is more than enough, right? So this action plan, it talks about your specific goals. That's what is it that you want to achieve. And then you put some actions, and the actions are those little action, the steps that you can take towards that goal, right? Who are the people that you need to support you on this journey, right? It may just be you. Whatever you put down might just be enough for you to achieve by yourself. but you may need support from other people. For example, if you are looking for a promotion at work and you need some extra experience to be able to take hold of that opportunity for promotion, you may need your supervisor or your manager to help you to unlock that opportunity. For example, you could be asking for an opportunity to maybe do a maternity relief cover or something like that, act in somebody's position. I think last time me and Fire were talking about, oh, sometimes people don't put their hand up. And so the other people who are always putting their hand up are the ones who get the opportunities. So the person you pencil it in. I need my supervisor's support to do this. Because if I don't open my mouth, supervisor may not know that I'm looking for this opportunity. All right? Or I might need another, whatever that person is, whoever that person is for you. And then you're also going to put in a timeline, which is how your goals are time bound. By when am I going to achieve this? And for you, you might want to put the start date and the end date, depending on what that task is. So I'm going to do this in 3 months. So, and I'll start it on this date and it should be finished by X date, right? And then of course, you might need some resources to complete that task. The resources, you might need your computer and the internet and a Google search engine, or you might need one of my phones, or you might need, this little book here to help you, or you might need to go buy something. You might have to do some research at the university. You have to buy a book, go to the library, whatever that is. I always recommend putting in some measures to evaluate progress in your action plan as well, because this is the part that links up to the measurable part of your goal. It's how do you know that you have achieved this goal? How do you know? Put an indication there. And these are what we talk about, the targets that, we want to achieve this target, but how do I know? How will I measure that? Well, the document must be completed, or I have, let's say you're starting a business. Well, my business registration complete, or I've graduated from the course and I've received the certificate, or I've completed the exam, or I've signed up.
I quit my day job.
There you go. Quit your day job, right? So these are the key components, all right? So this is a template. And so, for example, this one matches up. I should match up fairly well with the one you have. So let's say my goal is to develop a career plan for the next 5 years. That's my goal. I want to develop my career plan. And before I give you the example, the big vision or the goal that you have, you may want to break it up into some sub goals. Remember those milestones? So that way you break it up into manageable ones. So you could say for that big one, I want to break it into 3 sub goals that help me to keep on track with where I'm going. All right. So let's say one of my sub goals towards my big dream is I want to develop a career action plan. And the first step that I'm going to do as part of my goal is to complete my skills gap analysis, because I want to know where that is. I'm going to do it by myself, but I need some support from my mentor because I'm not quite sure about what my gaps may be. I'm going to finish it by September. Well, and I need the gap analysis tool or the template. I am going to use Google to help me to search for, maybe get a better understanding of what my skill set I have, etc. Or I might need a book, somebody's book that I need this template or something. All right. And then, of course, how do I know that? How do I measure this? Well, I know that I've achieved my goal because I've completed a gap analysis. That's how I know. All right. So the last step in developing your career action plan is to make sure, so you've got your plan, you've written it all up, it's there on paper. Next thing you have to do is go and implement it. You go in, and the one thing I would love to say to you, If you make a plan and you haven't scheduled it in your diary, that plan is as good as not made. Schedule, so whatever you've put in your plan, put it in your diary, put it on your calendar, schedule it in and go and do it. And you take the steps one at a time. Remember, one step every day, right? You break up those into little tasks. If it's a big step, you might break it up into some smaller steps, right? And then let's say it's a big step that's going to take you one week to finish. Break it up into some smaller steps that you can do one every day for that week, all right? And then you go do it. And as you're doing it, you track your progress, right? Track your progress towards your goal. Have a place where you are writing down, how am I tracking? Well, this week I was able to do this, and this. Something happened, I wasn't able to do this because things happen, right? Life happens. So as you're doing this, something may happen. Oh, but guess what? If you're not tracking it, you may miss a step. And because you're not tracking it, you've bypassed or overlooked something that's really important, all right? The other thing is that as you're doing the steps, you may realize, hang on a second, I'm doing this the wrong way. I'm not doing it in the right way, or this is not going to work. So that's how you're tracking it and you realize, oh, it's not working. I may as well stop now and recalibrate, right? Or make some adjustments as you go along. And as you're doing this, it's also important that as you are learning, as things are changing, so you may have got that position, you've acted in the position, you've gained some new skills, you've understood the process better, you go and update. You update your skills inventory. Now I have those skills, right? So your career action plan is a living document. It's a living document, and you're going to go back over and you can update as you are acquiring the skills, as you are finding out new things, you can go back and update it, all right? And I want to end by saying, you must be accountable. Bob Proctor said, accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the results. Be accountable first to yourself. This work is for you. It's to help you to move yourself in the direction of your dreams. The effort, the investment you've made is to help you to change your life, to transform your circumstances.
Sorry, I thought I had room to move backward.
Give yourself better results.
Right.
The thing is this, however, is that you either make yourself accountable or you will be made accountable by your circumstances. So it doesn't matter which way you go, accountability is going to happen. Because you know what's going to happen? If you don't take intentional steps towards making your dreams come true, you know what's going to happen? Life is going to throw whatever it wants at you. And you will find yourself having to give an account anyway. The difference, however, is that you're going to give an account not on your own terms. It's better for you to be intentional about the life that you live. You plan it out, you keep your eyes focused on that dream, and make sure that as you continue to move in the direction of your dreams, pay attention to your thoughts. Notice what you're thinking about. And when those negative thoughts come, you captivate them, you interrupt them, and you repattern them. And you remind yourself of where you are going by refocusing yourself on your dreams. And for your career, go out there, put that plan into action, monitor it, but take responsibility. Be intentional, be accountable, all right? And ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. Now, I did promise you all that at the end of the session, I will give you a gift. And let me see those who like to get gifts. We always say, you know, there's nothing free in Australia, but I can genuinely tell you that this is free. I am offering all of you the opportunity to get a 30-minute free session with me to calibrate your vision, to get some more advice on a one-on-one basis, to look at your vision. All right? This is the QR code for you to book that appointment right now. And I'm going to please ask you just for another 5 minutes of your time. Is that okay? So you can book that call, book it in now. So you get a 30-minute with me on Zoom, undivided attention from me to help you go deeper and maybe help you to see what your next steps could be and see maybe how best I can support you on your journey. Okay, have we got that? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone who needs this has got it? Okay, because I'm going to move on to the next step. Now, as I said, feel invited, but not obligated. It's for those who are ready to go to the next step or really feel like they need some support to go to the next level. And now, as you know, this is something we're doing because we want to support our community, but your feedback is super important for us. We want to know if we're doing well or not. Is there something we can do to make these workshops better? Or, help you move forward. So I'm going to please ask you, pretty please, to do the survey. All right, so I'll give you another 2 or 3 minutes. It's a very short survey. All right, it shouldn't take you more than about 2 or 3 minutes. If you could please give me some feedback on how we've done today so that I can also let UNSW know, whether you guys like me doing this or not. Like the pizzas that I've chosen.
Metropolitan was a really good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you guys enjoy today's workshop?
Yes,
I see
absolutely.
lots of heads nodding around the table. Right. Great. Good. Anyone wants to share what was their big takeaway?
Okay. For me, when you shared your story,
Yeah.
it kind of resonated and said, at least you've experienced what we're going through
Yeah.
and how you overcame it.
Yep.
It was actually a highlight for me. I came to this, honestly, I came to this workshop a bit on at a lid. Yeah, it's like I feel like the way it has just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually helped me because tomorrow I'm having some, as I said, out of sick, I'm having a couple of meetings, and you have to articulate yourself, how you articulate yourself, the energy.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Charlie. Anyone else would like to share?
I have a pitch this Thursday actually here at this place.
Mhm.
But today, after this session with you,
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and change my script.
Is that good or bad?
It is good because I thought I was ready already, but now you give me more idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
I have an idea for you. That's, we should do health promotion programs. We should create more campaigns for the obesity. Obesity is there in all sort of people, all sort of people. So, being a health professional, I feel like brainstorming for you. And she need to go for an automation class or automation company. Just get the experience of automation. How get to the automatic. So yeah.
So Abby, tell us what was the best part of today's session for you?
No, all we need is to pray to God what we want. We are like a magnet, we will get attracted to it. You give each and every breath to this session. All I can see is how strong is your prayer to deliver this. So that's all. So everyone is running for the peace of mind in all angles, like family peace of mind, like everything. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Thank you. Did you enjoy the session?
I enjoyed, yeah, I enjoyed. I looked inside actually. That's what, yeah, honest answer.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please.
I think the most interesting part, the permission one, because like how can I say? I can visualize my dreams, my goals, and so that I feel more motivated to achieve that, to get clear visual of my dreams and oh yeah, I have already visualized that and then need to take actions, not just dream or just visual, but need to materialize them.
Wonderful. Thank you. Who else would like to share? All the queens at the back there. Anyone up here would like to share?
I'll go. I like the SMART goal setting. Because I remember when I was at university, actually, I used to do a lot of I used to write my goals, how I'm gonna achieve them, my assessments, everything. So now, after a long time, I'm going back to working on this really important project, and I forgot those small skills, and that's what I'm taking today. The SMART tool is what I'm going to be taking, and I'm going to start implementing that. And I'm going to utilize journaling and also goal setting. Like, I've got so many ideas. I'm reading so much all at once. I went from 0 to 100, but I don't have like a goal setting, which I'm going to be working on for the next few weeks. Yeah.
Good stuff. You don't need to go from 0 to 100. Bite-sized pieces. Because 0 to 100 equals overwhelm. And
Yes.
that puts you right back into fear.
Yeah.
So take it down to what you can manage in a day. All right? Okay, I'll take one last one. Who else wants to share?
Yep. For me, it was more when you mentioned to write it down. I think sometimes we always think about it, but I guess the writing down makes it accountability.
Yes.
It's the fact that now once I've written it down, it's kind of like as if I've written it into stone.
Yes.
It's some kind of scenario. So
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Nice.
Yeah, manifesting. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Have we all finished the survey?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, just before you go, next, for those who are interested, next week we have the final in the series, and next week I'm going to really talk about the transferable skills. If you're interested, I'm going to really talk about how to identify them, how to market them, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that next week. If you're interested, please, we'll be here at the same time, same place, and same good vibe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for those who are interested, I've got a career blueprint course that I do online. I am having a special Black Friday sale. For those who may be interested in having a bit of a more, personalized one-on-one coaching around your career, I'm doing a Black Friday sale on my hybrid career blueprint course. For those who are, if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll let you know about this later. Yeah, but book the strategy session is more important, right? So book the strategy session, and if you're interested in this, you can talk to me about it then. All right? Take care. Yes. Yes. Did you find me?
Yeah.
See, I'm so happy you came, Abby. Thank you. I'm really proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Yes. How do you get home? Are you okay to get home?
Yeah. I'm living in Islam.
I know. I heard. You take the train back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Really nice to meet you.
Please connect with me. No, is that yours? Give to Annie. Yes.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was very good. I wasn't meant to be here. See, yeah, I know. And then something got cancelled. So I was like, oh, I better come in.
Have you booked in?
No, not yet. But I will have to.
You good to go?
Yeah, I'm catching the transport, so I'm running.
Yes. Will I see you next?
Yeah, definitely. I'll come with you.
Wonderful. Invite some friends.
Sure.
Invite some friends.
Yes, I think you said just.
Oh, I think about that. So
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, we're Oh.
Visualize this. Visualize it. Yes.
Well, we'll talk more about,
One direction. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I mean, magkaroon ko ba, sino ka mga, last verse ka daw, so if you go for me, it's constantly.
Like a one.
You did put that city.
Yeah, you can.
It's up to you.
Hey, girls, I'm gonna take a photo of everyone. Yeah, come back. Come back.
Charlene.
Because all of us are not the same. If you are available for next Tuesday, the last one.
Oh, we're gonna do a photo.
I'm not going over the vision next week. Yeah, we're gonna hit the transferable skills beat next week. Right? I did it today because we were gonna go into goal section. So it was important to have this vision about what yes. Next week it's gonna be like, you know.
Most of them are here.
But you have some good ones of the room, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I got this one in the other room.
Great.
Okay, just one quick photo. At least we know. That's fine. No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. We want you to know something. I've got you in SW and we've that's enough.
This is what it's been.
No.
Your phone.
Yeah, come in more. Okay. Can I get some excitement? Yay. Fantastic, thank you.
Awesome. What do you want to be like?
The following year. See you. Did I give you my card? Yeah, then you address.
Of course, as we come to the get over here. Another day. I'm just.
No, thank you. Anybody? No, I'm not trying to. Okay. Oh, I'm beat by myself. No, I didn't get that. I kept that for you. I bought this from that. And I figured I was going to be able to drink.
I forgot. This is the only day I work on nights. So,
Stop working.
no. But,
Let me stop.
I'm gonna go, and I had one of the emergencies
That's tonight. I had one tonight.
tomorrow. First time I go to a council meeting and see what.
Oh, yeah. You will not be, thrilled. Bring this next week.
Hamster.
No, I already drank, so I'm gonna.
Completely forgot that I'm still recording.
Getting home too late.